Kilrkitty!
Fishy jerks. Fishy jerks.
That was the Kilrkitty version of the Fishy Jerk song.
I like that addition. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi there. Let's see. Before we jump into it, let's do our normal thing. Not going to see the chat. Not going to do it. If the mods could please remind people of that too, if they come in and trying to get our attention and stuff. Excuse me. Please remind them that we will look at the chat after the first hour. So it's just going to be me and Holly having a conversation. Holly and myself having a conversation for the first hour. That was it. Go also look at fishfam.link, and maybe one of the mods knows the link for it, to see all the people close to 1K, because I know we got Bex, Dr. Awesome, and Skipper are very, very close. I know other people are too, but those three are super close to that 1K mark. So yeah, please, and mods, feel free to drop their links too. Okay, I'm clicking. Gone. Chat is gone. It is gone. Okay. Do I have to call you Killer? Can I call you Holly? What can I, Kitty? What do I call you?
You can call me anything you want to call me. It don't matter. I'll
Killer
answer
Holly.
all of it. Killer
Holly. I think we'll stick with Holly. Okay. Hi, Holly.
Hi.
First of all, thank you. Thank you so much, because you are super supportive. I see it not just in my streams, but in a lot of other streams as well. You go in and you a lot of times you drop super chats and stuff, and it's not even about that. It's just that I see you around a lot. You're a very supportive. I said that in the description too. You're a very, very supportive part of the Fish Fam, and I really do appreciate people like you. So thank you so much for all the support you show me and so many others for the last couple of years. We appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I don't do it for accolations or anything like that,
Sure.
but if I've always been raised and taught, if you have, then you give, and then you're blessed back. So it's kind of like, you give
Gotcha.
to get.
It feels right. It feels right. And again, I don't even mean, so much. I do appreciate you come in all the time and drop a couple bucks here and there. And of course I appreciate that, but it's more just even you're always stopping by. Even if you're busy, you stop by and you say, I hit the like and I have to take the dogs for a walk or whatever, but you drop in and let us know that you're there and that you've hit the like and stuff. And that means a lot to people. So thank you.
Welcome.
Okay. The second thank you is because you're wearing that amazing shirt.
Look at this, guys. Look at this. You can have one of these. You can own this. You can do it.
Not that specific one. She's not selling it.
Right. No, this is
You have
mine.
to get your own. You have to get your own. Okay. Now, I don't know a whole lot about you, though, Holly. I really don't. I mean, the fact that we've talked so much over the last couple of years, it's surprising how little I know about you. Like, I have no idea where you live. So let's start off with that. Where do you live?
So I live in the southwestern part of Virginia, and I say it like that because it seems like a different world than like Northern Virginia, because I am an hour from Tennessee, an hour from Kentucky, an hour from West Virginia, and 2 hours or 3 hours from North Carolina. But if I'm going to go to any major city in Virginia, it's like 5 and 6 hours.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So it's just kind of in its own little shell, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm in that little tip where Bristol, I don't know if anybody's a NASCAR fan, but Bristol Motor Speedway, I'm just about an hour from there.
Is that the Brick House? Is Bristol the one or Bristol's the shortest one? Not the Brick House. Brick House, isn't that Indianapolis? Isn't Bristol the shortest track? I'm not a NASCAR fan, but I was years and years ago, and I feel like it's the smallest track. It's just basically a very short oval.
So and I've been to one race. It rained the entire time, but the best thing about it was they had these little vendor booths set everywhere, and I got a coupon for $1,500 off my LASIK eye surgery. So it was worth going to that NASCAR race.
$1,500 off?
Yeah, it's like one of those drawing things, and then I ended up getting that I ended up winning that coupon. So I went ahead and did the LASIKs and never regretted it. It was great.
I thought about that too. Now, LASIK is good for which one? It's only good for one, right? It's far side or near side, right?
Yes, I was
Nearsighted?
nearsighted, so I could see close up, but not far away. Everything was really, really fuzzy.
Okay.
And I know it's so cliche, but especially like trees, when you see individual leaves, it's night and day,
Yeah.
instead of seeing
I
a
thought about doing it. It's funny that it was at a NASCAR event, though. I guess they really want their fans to be able to see the cars well.
yeah.
Uh, I, that's cool, though. I mean, congratulations. How long ago was that?
That's been 4 years now. So,
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. So you live not too far from Bristol,
mhm.
um, and that's where you've always lived. That's
Yep.
born and raised.
Yeah, so, I grew up a half an hour from where I'm at right now, which everything's a half an hour from where I grew up
Okay.
because you wanted to go to Walmart, the grocery store, anything but a bank and a post office, you had to drive a half hour. So
I
it
understand that.
really yeah, really grew up in the woods next to a river,
Beautiful.
so probably less than 50 yards, we had a railroad track because my dad worked for the railroad for a long time,
Okay.
and they actually leased the bit of land that was next to the coal tipple, and it's like a way station, so they leased that land to my dad for super cheap, and that's where we lived and grew up in a double wide, but you could go to the water, to the river, we went almost every day, or you could go right behind the house and go up a mountain, up on the woods. You could walk down the railroad tracks and scare your parents to death, fun things.
Yeah. That's amazing. Same thing. My dad worked for railroad when I was young.
Huh,
Concord, I think. I can't remember what it was, but he worked for one of the railroads.
uh-huh.
We had a railroad track right behind our house, and I used to walk that to go to school every day. I loved it in the fall, when it was all foggy and stuff, and walking along that railroad track and stuff.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you: did you ever? Now they protect them better than when I was a kid. When I was a kid, the automobiles on the trains were just on open-sided things, and being bad kids that we used to throw rocks at the train when it went by when it had the cars on there. Did you ever do
So
that?
we didn't do that. We had Norfolk Southern, so they were coal. Everything
Oh,
was
okay.
coal haulers, so they were
Okay.
all closed up and everything. Once a year, the they would have like a tour train, I guess you'd call it, where people could buy tickets and then, and that was like such a big event. The neighbors would come to our yard, we'd set up lawn chairs, and then when they come by, like we'd do the wave and, cheer for people and smile
Yeah,
and all that. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, but
it
no, we
does sound
never
fun.
yeah, we never threw rocks.
Yeah, I guess hurting the coal isn't that much fun. And you're probably a better person than me anyway. So when I
No,
was a
don't
kid,
say that.
we were pretty bad. We were pretty bad kids. So, but it's funny that the same thing though. I grew up with the railroad tracks right behind our house. I absolutely loved it. Um, okay, and you said you're not too far away from where you grew up. Do you live by yourself? Do you live with parents? You live with loved ones? What's your configuration?
So my configuration right now is I am married. Yay.
Okay.
So I dated Adam. We dated 9 years and we got married in 2019. So
Okay.
married for a little bit. We just ran away to Destin, Florida with like 7 friends and got married on the beach.
Nice.
Highly recommend it. It was cheap. It was
Yeah.
fun. The people in the condo, like when we kissed, they all started cheering like you're some kind of celebrity.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
yeah, it was just easy.
Low stress, and that's beautiful because so many people when they get married have these big, huge weddings, weapons too, I guess, but weddings, and they go into debt to start their lives together just to put on this big event, and that's amazing that you did it the right way. Is Adam around? Would he like to just poke in and just give us a quick wave?
He actually works second shift, so he works
Oh,
2
okay.
PM to 11 PM, so he isn't here right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of these times we'll meet Adam. One of
Yeah.
these times. Hopefully, you guys will make it to the Keystone Clash sometime, and we'll be able to hang
I was
out.
I'm really thinking we probably will make it this year. It falls, like, on our anniversary normally, but I think Scotty said they had to move it back a little bit
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
So there really shouldn't be any reason that we shouldn't make it this year. So
First
excited about that.
first weekend in October.
Yep.
Beautiful. Alishon, Alishon, his anniversary is also that last week in September. So his wife would let him go once in a while as well. But same thing. He probably the same time. That would be amazing, though. I hope that you guys do get to make it, and anybody else too. I would love to see more people there.
Yes.
Okay. I lost my train of thought. Trains. We were talking about trains. No, we passed that train of thought. You lived in the same area. Okay, you're half an hour from where you used to live.
Mm-hmm.
You live with Adam. You live with you have no kids?
No kids.
No
I took
kids.
care of that with surgery. I've
Okay.
never ever wanted children.
Okay.
Not even growing up. I had stuffed animals. I always threw away Barbie dolls and dolls. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just never had one of them. So when I was 21, they it was funny because like Obamacare came in about that time, and so it's considered preventative maintenance, I guess is what you'd call it. But it's preventative care, and
Yeah.
insurance covered it. So
Good.
like I didn't have to pay anything for
Good.
it.
I love hearing stories like that because it should be more widespread. But
Right.
and that's a big step. And you just decided, though, you knew that you didn't want to. See, this is why you and Ed get along so well, because he doesn't like kids either, right?
No, he doesn't. No, and I love them. I have such a heart, like absolutely love children. I just never ever wanted that responsibility because I don't think people realize your life's over for a time because you now have to donate it to raise this little being, and I just can't see myself doing that.
Well, I mean, it's good that you're honest. And besides, if you change your mind, in the future, there's always, adoption or whatever, there's always ways.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's, you never could if you decide. I mean, and maybe you
Right.
don't. Maybe you don't. Maybe you know yourself well enough and that never changes. And and Adam was just fine with that too. Does he feel exactly the same? He didn't want to have kids?
He's right there with me and Ed in the no kid club. I mean, he is. He's never wanted them either. So his sister, he has three sisters, and each sister has three kids.
Okay.
And his oldest sister, one of her kids has 7 kids. So it's been like his life has always had children in it, him growing up, and there's always been younger kids around, and he's over it. He's over it.
So he's appreciating the peace and quiet then.
Exactly.
Now, do they ever come over to your place very often? The kids, do they?
We really are kind of like you with that. We don't have visitors very much. Every now and again, like my D&D group, I'll spree clean the house and freak out about everything, and we'll have a group session of my friends over here. But we really don't have a lot of visitors. Usually, we go other places, like if we want to visit with people. So
yeah, I'm with you. Just something about it. This is my sanctuary.
right.
Sanctuary. I want to be. I don't mind going to see people, but I'd rather not them come see me. So I understand.
Right.
You also have dogs. I know that. And how many and what do you got?
So I have one right now. We lost one earlier this year, and we lost the mother of those 2 early last year. But we do have Noli still. He's over here chewing on a treat, being good. So I was so worried he's going to bark the whole time. But we've had him. He's 13 years old now. So
Nice.
he is our baby. I mean, he really is. We spoil him way, way too much, but
I understand. And again, real quick, if Brandon B. Wizzle's here, Wally, I have to take a video, but Wally did eat the pumpkin pie, and so he's going to choose one of the other 2 things you sent. So again, thank you very much, Brandon B. Wizzle, for sending those things for Wally, and he absolutely loved the pumpkin pie thing. It was called pumpkin pie, and he just he destroyed it. In fact, on the floor over here, it looks like somebody killed a rabbit. There's just all the little filling things right behind. He's really good about not eating the stuff inside those. The stuffing, the polyfill.
pulls it
He
out.
just rips it apart, but he doesn't eat it. So we're not worried about it. We've, watched him pretty good, but he's already destroyed one, and he just got him yesterday. So they're not going to last long.
They were so cute, though. I don't know where he found those at, but those were
Chewy.
so cute.
Chewy.com. Yeah,
Really?
Chewy.com. Yeah, because the box, came from Chewy. So
I love it.
I thought that was very cool. There's been a few cool people that have sent Wally Thanes. I really appreciate that people send him, treats and such. Because he's my buddy. So
Good boys deserve treats.
yeah, yeah, he's a good dog. He is. He's doing real well with David staying here. So, anyways, sorry. Let's keep going on. Let's talk about you. It's not about me. And we see the fish tanks there. How many fish tanks do you have? Is that all of them that we see?
Oh no.
Yeah.
So I took the next room over too. So I have a 75 in the next room, two 40s, and a 20 tall or a regular 20, whatever you want to call it. But I was taking down the regular 20 because I moved my pea puffers into this 20 long behind me.
Mm.
But I have an Akara that my friend gave me, and it's not fat and sassy, as Dan would say. So I put him in the 20-gallon for now to try to fatten him up and get him a little bit more confident with me before I move him in the 75, because the 75 it's a madhouse. I got zebra
Yeah.
danios, tetras. I mean, everybody's just swimming everywhere in that tank. So I'm afraid he'll get a little overwhelmed.
Now, have you ever done any videos on the tanks or anything? Do you?
I did do one. I got one short. It's nothing fancy. It's literally just this tank here, the with the ship in it.
Yeah.
That is my red eye, red tail puffer tank.
Hmm.
So I have three of those. I have
Nice.
Ember Tetras, and I have a red Bristlenose Pleco, so all red.
Oh, I don't know if I saw that because I definitely would remember. Is that Pleco in in the short?
I don't think the Pleco's
Okay.
in it. I need to do
Okay.
another one, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's that tank. It's being taken over by Stephen P's guppy grass that he sent me. It's
Yeah.
done really well for me.
I think a big portion of our community has some Stephen P plants.
Yeah.
That's one of the cool things he does. If you remember, he sends out plants to everybody. So this jungle val up here in the top that's all over, that's from Stephen. There's a whole bunch different
Right.
stuff he sent me over the
Yeah,
time.
mine, I've divided some of them. So I have pearlweed. I don't think you can see, yeah, you can't see this tank, but I have pearlweed in my beta tank. I have I have plants of his all over too. So
That,
thank you, Stephen.
yeah, definitely. Thank you. And the pearlweed did not last. It's supposed to. It
Yeah.
should have liked my water, but it just did not. And it's weird which ones do well and which ones don't.
Yeah.
But okay, I've got to ask. What is that? A stripper pole?
You know what? It's not. I have never stripped on this pole.
I'm sorry. It just,
No, no, no,
I
no.
didn't really notice it until you started talking about the plants, and then it's just. I was like, wait a minute. What is?
I fully expected somebody in the chat to be like, "Is that a stripper
They
pole?" No,
probably did. They probably did.
right.
Yeah.
So
I think somebody mentioned it though before. I don't remember
did
who.
they? I don't know.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it, but I knew from the time I turned this camera on it was going to happen at some point. So it's
Yeah.
fine. But I took a pole fitness class
Yes.
with
Yes.
terminology. So I took
Yep.
a pole
Yep.
fitness class in about 20 minutes down the road, and I loved it. I fell in love with it. It was so fun. So I bought one. My husband bought me one for Christmas, and it's not sexy. I'm not cute. There's no gracefulness or
Oh, come on.
talent, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Right? So
And it's good
that's the
exercise.
main
I've
thing.
heard that. I've heard that
Mhm.
it's amazing because it uses muscles on your body that you wouldn't really use any other way than doing something like that. And
Yeah.
it does take a lot. So,
And I
well,
get sore. I really do. So like
yeah,
it's a lot more upper body. Usually it's easier for me to work out lower body because I did rock climbing for a while and things like that. And you think, well, that's your upper body, but it's really not. It's your legs. And
yeah,
then I've always with jazzercise or any kind of exercise hit program or anything, it's a lot of leg work. But it's not. You have to hold on or you fall off.
And how many times have you fallen?
Oh,
Couple?
several,
Several?
several.
Yeah, yeah. Now, and what does Adam think of it? I mean, does he even think anything of it? Does he,
Not really, because again, it ain't sexy. And it's not something that I do in front
you
of
know what?
him.
You know
It's
what?
not cute.
Listen, he's your husband, and I don't care what you could be sick, throwing up, and he's still going to find you attractive and sexy. I
Yeah,
know this for a fact as a very long time husband. It doesn't matter because we see you, we see who you are, and that's what does it for
yeah,
us. So,
that's true.
so I can guarantee you, it doesn't matter what you're. If you could stub your toe walking outside, and he's going to go, "Wow, that was sort of hot." You know what I mean? It's just,
Right,
it's just
yeah.
how, just how it is. It's just how it is. All right, we got past that. We won't talk about it anymore. Um, I had to know, and I do
Oh,
think
you're
somebody
fine.
mentioned it because people watch you on. Oh, which reminds me, real quick, we will be ending a little early tonight. That's why we started early. Holly plays Dungeons and Dragons with Ed, Whip, Scotty, and Alexander Englehart. Mark, is
Uh-huh.
Xanadu on there too? Okay,
Xanadu, yep.
on Chris Aquazone's channel. So she's over there starting at 9 o'clock. So we wanted to go a little early to give her that extra 15 minutes, just to get a drink and all that kind of stuff. So we will be ending a little early tonight. Okay. So we talked about where you live. And again, is this where you want to live? Have you guys talked about moving someplace else? Do you think about it? Do you want to?
Well, I just took a promotion at Lowe's. So I do work at Lowe's. I'm an assistant store manager at one of the local stores here. So I took that promotion. I also teach part-time at Southwest Virginia Community College.
Cool.
So we are getting ready, and he's got a very, very good job at a metal fabrication shop. He's a lead shift manager there. So we're like 16 to 20 years into
Okay.
our positions, and
Yeah.
it's comfortable and it's great. And we're getting ready to pay our house off in a couple years.
Yeah.
Blessings, because whew, that's a big payment,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
that'll be done in a couple years. So after we get the house paid off, we may talk about it, but right now we're comfortable and,
Yeah.
but
It's
we do
home.
love to travel. Yeah, and it's home. It is. So, and it's near family.
Just
I'm
was going to
near
ask.
my
He's got a
family.
lot
Yeah.
of family. Do you have a lot of family as well?
Not a big family. So, it's my brother, and he has a wife and 2 kids, and he lives here, and my mom and dad live here, so he's on a hill, and they're right below him. They're 30 minutes away, but I'm super close with my family. As far as, like, cousins and aunts and uncles, we see them on the holidays and have no issues with them or anything, but it's not like we're daily into seeing
Gotcha.
each other, if that makes sense. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so
I
no
get it.
animosity or anything, it's just life is so busy.
Yeah. Yeah. You're happy when you see them, but you
Right.
see them that time, and that's enough for now.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and his father is passed, but his mom still lives, and she's just about 15 minutes down the road. So,
Gotcha.
her sister lives with his mom to help take care of her, and then we help out, when we can or what we can do. So,
Gotcha. Yeah. So that makes a big difference too. If it's a lot of family around that you actually care
mhm,
about and get along with, that makes it easier. Plus, it sounds like you really like where you live as far as nature and stuff goes.
love it.
You, yeah. And I know there's a lot of beauty. You guys don't get super bad winters, but you'll get snow once in a great while, right?
Yeah. So the last big snow we had's probably been about 3, 4 years ago, and me and Adam went out and made this 6-foot tall snowman. It's great, but we've not really had snow since. So that's one thing. I really do love snow and
Yeah.
colder weather, but it's like you said, it's mild here pretty much all year. If we
Yeah.
have hot days, it just lasts maybe a week or 2, and it drops back down. If we have super cold days, just a few weeks and you're right back up. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Not long term.
mm-mm.
Gotcha. That is sort of nice too. There's something to be said though about the extremes. There really is, because living in Arizona, it's a little bit more extreme with the heat and stuff, right? But I lived there for so long, and I really missed the change of seasons. And I think that's true. If you grow up in a place where you obviously still have a change of seasons, but it's
Mhm.
not super drastic. Like here, the winter is just
Yeah.
sometimes it's overwhelming. And the summers are nice, but it's very, very drastic change of seasons. All four of them are very distinct. And I think there's something to be said for that.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people that live in places like where I live love to move to places like you live, because they're tired of it.
Right.
They're tired of it. They had enough.
I'd rather have a rainy winter with a little bit of snow here and there than
Yeah,
a full-on snowstorm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But so you're home and you're comfortable and you like it there. Now, do you get a discount with Lowe's?
We do. We still get
Okay,
our 10% discount, so they haven't
okay.
taken that from us. Used to, back in the day, you could get 10% above cost on like special
Ooh,
order products and things like that.
yeah.
They took that out though. So that
I'm
was
just
a
thinking,
short-lived.
for myself, I'll send you the Lowe's with a list and have you pick me up some plants and stuff, and get your discount. That's what I'm thinking of.
There you go.
You know.
I'll do an internet order for your Lowe's and you just go and pick it up. Good to
Oh,
go.
there we go.
Yeah,
I
see?
wasn't even thinking
Hey.
that. Look at you. That's a good idea. There's a Lowe's not too far away.
Right?
We'll have to talk. I do need some more plants. I
You
think there's
know
like
the
a space.
system, we can break the system.
There's a space like right here. I think for plants. I think,
Yep.
and maybe something right over here. But this. Anyways, okay. What about hobbies besides the fish keeping? Besides staying in shape with stuff and the nature. Why'd you do that?
I used to work out. I used to be in shape. I really did. I love working out. Again, time and just laziness.
Yeah. Oh,
So
I get the
it's
laziness, but you really enjoyed to do. 'Cause I always hated it. I
yeah, I
hated it.
do. My mom rooted exercise into my life because she's really one of my best friends.
Nice.
She got me started out when I was in high school. We sweated with the oldies with Richard Simmons.
Yeah.
Love him,
Yeah.
love the songs, it was so fun. Then we went like Denise Austin and, we always picked trainers that were really nice and encouraging, like, "Yeah, you can do it." Not Jillian Michaels, we worked out with her one time and we were like, "Oh god, she's yelling at us," and it's like, "We
Stop
don't wanna
yelling.
die." Yeah, really,
Put it
"Stop
on my
yelling at me."
bed.
So it's always been fun to work out, but again, you have that partner to work out with, and that's what makes it fun. Because she makes fun of me.
Oh,
I can't touch my toes. I'm not flexible, so we do yoga and, her elbows are on the ground and, like, I'm struggling to get my fingertips there, and she just looks over, starts laughing at me, and that's what makes it fun for me,
yeah.
those memories, so
That's awesome that you're that close with her. My daughter and wife are very, very close like that too. They're like best friends. And sometimes I get a little jealous, because they have a special relationship. They really do. And the boys and I don't.
yeah.
I love them to death. They tell me they love me, and we have a relationship, but they're super close, and that's great. I love it, but there's a little part of me that I want that, but it makes a big
Right.
difference. It makes a big difference with everything,
Mhm.
knowing that you have that support from a parental figure like that. So, well,
Yeah.
besides then working out, what because that's not a hobby. What
Mhm.
kind of
Yeah.
things do you like to do besides the fish keeping in your spare time?
Um, so secret, you ready? I love D&D. I love D&D. I do.
I don't
I
think
do.
that's a secret. I think people are aware of this.
So, about a year ago, maybe a little bit more, my cousins like we just went to this game shop and took a D&D class and learned how to play D&D, and I was like, "Really? Okay, well." And so I went and I took the same class and I fell in love with it.
Yeah,
It's the creative part of it, the storytelling, you can do anything in
Yeah.
that. So I can make a
Yeah.
story and run a game for them, and it just goes awry because they never do what you want them to do, but it's so fun. It's so fun. So, yeah, I really do love D&D. I was so blessed to get into Chris's, um, game with those guys. Those guys are amazing.
Yeah.
They make me laugh so hard.
It's a
It's
good
so
group. It definitely
great.
is.
It really is. So,
Yeah.
and they're all really chill, and
Yeah.
Alexander, I wish I had, a tenth of his knowledge. So smart with that game, so brilliant. Chris just, I mean, he keeps it rolling. It's so fun. But even, when we play at home, with my friends and stuff, we just
Yeah.
kind of make it up, and go on because just keep the game moving.
Well, that's the
But
best part, I think, is
yeah,
the fun. You don't have to be a stickler for the rules. You mentioned, though, you create the story. So you're the DM with you and your friends?
yeah. So the couple of times that me and my friends have played just us, so because you can pay the game shop and they'll give you a DM and you can play with them. So we did
Wow.
that a few times,
Yeah.
but you can also, like I said, I just kind of made a story and we played through it and took a couple of sessions to do that. I got another one in the works. I got this book. I just picked it up. It's got like a bunch of little one shots and things, but it's stuff you can just build into a story. So you
Gotcha.
can make whatever story you want, but then you can add in little puzzles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited
I
about that.
I love that. I've never heard of a place that gave you a D&D class and
Mhm.
rented out DMs and stuff. That's a great idea, and maybe it's more prevalent than I realized. But I mean, that's amazing. They never had when I was a kid. I mean, it was before even the red and blue box from D&D, which was 70s. So, um, you just picked up a book and read it and decided how you were going to play. You know, that's
Yeah.
amazing that they have classes. And where is that place? What's it called again?
So it's called Wolf Den Games. It's in
Okay.
Abingdon, Virginia, which is in between me and Bristol. So it's really a fun shop. The guy who owns it or co-owns it, there's two of them. He DM'd our last game, and he is such a nut. It is
Yeah.
he's so wild and animated, and it just made it a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. When you get a good DM like that can really just take it to another level. I mean, the Monday night game was a lot of fun too. I had to quit for other reasons, but I miss the hell out of it. And Ed and I were even
Yeah.
talking tonight. But um, that is so cool. I just can't get over that. It's cool. You need to tell him that you gave him a little shout out too, so he
Oh yeah.
can, you know, uh, maybe he'll give you a discount or something, a little free publicity, call it out. But that's a great idea. And I would love to see more people doing that, hold little classes. Now, Chris Aquazone did say that he wanted to run a new campaign with people who have never played Dungeons and Dragons ever before. So if people out there in the chat are interested, he's on the Discord server, but you see Chris all over the place, Chris Aquazone. He'll be on the Focus On in December. But also you'll see him tonight if you go over to his channel, Chris Aquazone, right after this. You'll be able to watch him and see what's going on.
And he's so patient. I mean, if you're a first timer and you're nervous about it,
Yeah.
Huawei, you really need to do it because you'd be great. Cora Works, be great. I'd love to watch them.
I,
Zen
I,
Ginger.
I've met Chris twice now. We at the Keystone Clash twice. We've got to hang out. We always have a lot of good conversations and stuff. And yeah, he's a real good guy. He really
Yeah,
is.
he is.
All right. So, what other hobbies do you do? Any other gaming to speak of, or is it really about it, the D&D?
No, I do. I did World of Warcraft
Okay.
for probably a decade. I mean, for about 10
Yeah.
years, I played World of Warcraft. My ex-boyfriend, I was with him for about 8.5 years. And so we really was into it a little bit before him. But when he came along, I mean, it was like 16, 17 hours grinding out missions and
Yeah.
just trying to max out your character and get it there. And again, just it's that fantasy of
Yeah.
it. And then with it being a multiplayer RPG, it was just fun to have that social interaction without having to take a shower, get off the bed, or
Yeah. Yeah.
just grab your laptop and then
Yeah.
the world is open and you look the same because you're a character.
Yeah.
So
We did the same. It wasn't World of Warcraft. It was a game called Asheron's Call that came out in I think it was either 99 or 2000 it came out. I know I beta tested in 98, so I think 99 was when it came out. But same type of game, an MMORPG. And Michelle, my wife, did play. So did a couple of the kids, and we had a whole bunch of us that were Wheel of Time fans. The book Wheel of Time,
yeah.
and so we went by the last name Damodred. So all of our characters, like I was Rico Stan Damodred, and it was a whole bunch of Damodreds, and we would have like a guild meeting. We were in a guild. There was a few hundred people in the guild, but we'd all show up to a place and there'd be like 30 or 40 Damodreds around. So it was always a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
It's I do miss those type of games, but I don't really care to play with other people anymore. I don't.
Right.
I play all my RPGs are all single player now because I guess I've had enough of that. Of that. Okay. Other hobbies. Dig into some anything else that you really enjoy doing.
I'm playing Baldur's Gate right now. That's a really fun game. I do
Yep.
like it.
Uh-huh.
But again, it's that time aspect because and it's sad to say, but work. And that's what I told Adam, after a couple years when we do get our house paid off, that might be something I might go ahead and just terminate that second job of teaching because it again, it's time consuming. So, but probably the thing that I'd love just to do a hobby, as guess you'd call it, is just hiking. So going out in nature and going out and seeing trees and hitting the trails and things,
Yep.
just you always find something amazing.
Yep.
It's so cool.
I do
So
know. Yes.
yeah.
It's one of my favorite things in the world as well, and it's always been to take it, not even so much a hike, but just a nature walk.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like super strenuous or anything. It's not, you don't have to climb a mountain.
Yeah.
Just getting out there and walking in the woods is just so refreshing and enlightening, and just so good for you in so many ways. So I'm with you 100% on that. Wait, I want to backtrack a little bit before I forget, though. What do you teach at the community college?
Oh, so I teach, well, it's all online now since COVID happened, so blah.
Gotcha.
But I teach online and I do a Biology 101 lab. And we actually are doing a brine shrimp hatching lab right now. So
Well,
so that helps me because I'm doing the lab with them, but I'm also feeding my scarlet bass.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah, double
working.
different. That's awesome.
Right? And then, I also teach anatomy and physiology online too.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's something I've done for I think this is the 8th year I've been doing that. So
Now,
it's I enjoy it.
did you go to school for teaching? Did you go to school for those things, or how did you fall into that?
So I went to UVA at Wise, and I got a bachelor's of science in biology.
Okay.
So I started working at Lowe's to put myself so my mom and dad didn't have to take the whole brunt of. I
Yeah.
got a full ride to my community college, and then I started working so I could pay for university. And so they took out a loan, and I took out a loan. And when I graduated, Lowe's is like, "Oh, well, we have this full-time spot. You should apply." And I got it. And then when I started searching for jobs in biology field, they're like, "Oh, well, here's a specialty sales job. You should take that." And I took it. More money. And
Yeah.
then you go on and then they're like, "Well, here's a management position." And then here's another higher level management position. So if I left my job at Lowe's now, I wouldn't be making enough to start in a biology field,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So
Yeah. So will you miss the teaching part of it? Because at least with the teaching,
yeah,
you're still doing something with that. You're still in that
right.
field. Or will you
And
really miss it?
the reason I got into teaching was because I have a high school instructor, Kevin Stillwell, and he started at the community college, Southwest Virginia Community College, and he's like, "Hey, graduated my class. He come and see me at Lowe's. We talked for a while. He goes, "You got your bachelor's degree?" I was like, "Yeah." So he comes back a week later and he's like, "Hey, with that bachelor's degree, I need help because they were just piling on the credits for him and the classes for him. So he's like, I need a lab assistant. He said, I need someone bad. He's like, can you help me? I'm like, sure. So I was traveling it's to Grundy, which I know nobody's heard of, but it's about 20, 30 minutes down the road. I'd travel there and I would teach biology lab that first year. And I come back, and that's when I found the Buchanan County Bird Club. So I joined them for a while because I was already down there teaching. Their meetings happened before my class, so I'd go early, do that,
I see. I
and then
didn't
go
know you were a
teach.
birder either. I mean,
Novice. I mean,
yeah, same here.
yeah. I
Yeah,
love I
Eric
can do all the
Wyrock.
birds in my backyard.
Yeah, Eric Wyrock's at a different level. You know, he's seen like his big year. I don't remember how many birds he's seen in that just that one year, but it was way more than on my entire life list. But I do really enjoy doing it and figuring out what that bird is or what that what that sound. What's
Yeah,
that? Wait, what's that one? I don't know that one. So I start looking around to see the birds.
yeah. And I love that too, 'cause
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so bad though, like, when it's like you hear sound and I'm looking over here and, like, the rest of the group's looking over there, 'cause I can't do directions with sound. I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
why. But if I see them, I have a much better chance of figuring out
yeah.
what they are.
Now, do you use like bird guides and stuff? Do you have like a
Mhm.
favorite bird book? Do you have
Yes, I have. Actually got it
little
right
aside
here.
here, folks?
Hold, please.
Eric's digging us the Sibley one. Yes, the Sibley
Yep.
one. I have that one. That's a
So
good
you
one.
can
Yep.
see it's well worn, dropped in mud, and all that fun
Yep.
stuff. So, but
I
I've
have a
actually
few.
been checked them off in that.
I have an actual life list book. It's just basically like a
Oh,
diary, and it has entries in it. So when what the bird was and where you saw it and who you were with. So just but it's got it all alphabetized. So you can
oh,
um,
that's a cool idea. I didn't know they had that.
I've got that, and then um, I don't know where it's at. I have there's Dr. Ted's book. The Crossley guide is my favorite. Oh, it's
Crossley.
up there.
Uh-huh.
I think his name is Richard Crossley. So it's not a good field guide. It's
Mhm.
not a good one to take out with you because it's a massive book. But every bird has a few different really good descriptive photographs of it in different. Sometimes it's flying, sometimes it's sitting. It's got the male and the female. It's got the juvenile and the adult. So every bird just about has a bunch of different views of that bird. So you really helps you identify it at different points in its life and different things that it's doing. It's a great, great guide. So what I do is I try to have my field guide with me, my binoculars,
Mhm.
and I go out and I get some ideas on what it is. And if I'm lucky, I get a picture. But most of the time, I get an idea. I got my little notebook and I'm writing down what it's got this, it's got this, it's got that, these features. And then I get back home and I take out the Crossley and I start right away so I don't forget and try and figure out exactly what it is. And I can usually figure out what it is very good. So
Right. Yeah.
it's a really good book for that, but horrible to take with you.
Right. But that would be really good because I do that too. I actually have one of those yellow, and I don't know if I have it right handy, but it's like a little field notebook. Oop,
Is it
dropped it.
the waterproof one?
Yep.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
waterproof and the pages are waterproof too.
Yep.
So
I
like
have
I
that.
make all kinds of little notes in here, yeah,
Yep.
and everything. So I do that. I bring it home and then like because if I can't find it real quick in the field guide, I'm just like, well, forget it. I'll just I'll just figure it
Yeah.
out later. So
Yeah.
so yeah,
That's
but
so funny. We have a lot in common. We really
it,
do. Because that's me too. Now I don't do it as much as I used to. When I
Mhm.
was more about when I was kayaking and stuff a lot. But I still take the binoculars when we do our hikes and stuff. Michelle and I go for our walks. I still take the binoculars and I still try to. Okay, so birding, that's another one.
Kayaking's another one we have in common because we have a lot of rivers around here.
Yeah,
And so we kayak too. I got my 2 outside on I built a little rack out of PVC pipe, yay Lowe's.
yep,
So
yep.
I built
Do
that
you
and
do you
store
like
them.
white water? Do you like quiet water? In between? What where's your favorite to kayak? What do you like to do the most?
I really love it all. We've done a couple of lakes that we have around here. I really enjoy those just because they're peaceful. A lot more work, because you're not flowing.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we've actually done whitewater rafting. So it's not far from here in West Virginia, the lower New or the New River, and they do whitewater trips, and we've done 2, and we both really, really like them, but it's not something that I'm confident to be like, "Yeah, I'm
gotcha.
gonna take my own kayak and do it."
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that with a guide.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I know.
but the Clinch River, it does have, like, little rapidy parts that you could do solo
Yeah,
easy, and there's a couple places you portage, but not many, but I do enjoy that too. So, it just kinda depends on the person you go with, because some people absolutely hate lakes and some people absolutely hate rivers.
yeah. I I know Geek Boy likes whitewater more. He's done a lot of different stuff, but he prefers the whitewater. I really prefer the quiet water, especially now. One of my favorite things to do was I would go out into the bay here and I would paddle into the wind, right? So I'd go to that corner, whichever which way the wind was blowing, I would paddle into that corner of the bay. So, and then I would just get my beer, get my book, put my feet up, and the wind would just blow me right across the bay. And then I'd get to the other side and I would paddle back and do it again, and I would do that, all day long, just, drinking a few beers, reading a book. Uh, but also, going back through all the little creeks and stuff, but paddling out into, and my very favorite, and I've mentioned this a lot of times on streams, but paddling out into Lake Ontario far enough where you don't see land. There's something about it. I read it for the very first time in a book called Quiet Passage. That's about the inside passage there off the coast of Canada. And the guy talked about the crossing and doing that and not seeing land and the feeling that he got from it. And I was like, I want that. I want to try it. So I did, and he described it perfectly. There's such a special feeling that when you're in this little boat, under your own power, you're very close to the water, and you look around and there's nothing but you can't see anything but water. It does something to you. It's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, that would be cool. I've never been in a lake or a situation that large.
Yeah,
We mostly have little man-made lakes. Up, we actually have one called Hidden Valley, and it's up on the top of a mountain. So you drive all the way up this mountain, and then it's a little man-made lake that's there, and that's probably one of my favorites because when you get up there, you're isolated, and there are
yeah,
people around, but it's not super super popular because of that
gotcha.
mountainous drive. So
Isn't that
it's a
where all
really
the
special place.
that's all the ranch dressing is made, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah, right out of that lake.
It's a ranch dressing lake. The lake is ranch dressing. My daughter would probably be there. She loves ranch dressing that much. She'd be
I do love
paddling in it. You're ruining the ranch dressing. It's like a Willy Wonka situation. Okay. Did we miss any hobbies? Did we cover the most things that you like to do? Like you come home from work on a Thursday afternoon. What do? You come home, you kick your feet up on the couch and watch some TV. What do you like to do?
Yeah, I like TV. I love Wipeout. They just put it on Netflix again.
Yeah.
If anybody has any connections with Wipeout, please. I wanna be on that show so
Yeah.
bad.
Do you think you'd last? Do you think you'd make it through?
Oh, I don't know if I'd make it through or not. I think I could get to round 2 at least, but,
Yeah.
I would love to be. So I have ran, Spartan races, so
Okay.
that's us all covered in
Wait,
mud.
wait,
This is
hold on.
Adam. Oh,
Let me put you on the. Oh, I forgot on this one how to do it. I got to move this over here, and it's different on this. I'm not using StreamYard anymore. There we go. Show us again.
so these are, my friends, April, Lisa, and Scott, her husband, but this is my husband here. And
We
that's
can't
me in the
see
middle, but
it.
we are covered in mud, but we are happy as pigs in mud, I guess you'd say. It was so much fun. But it's not like the Tough Mudders, you don't get electrocuted or or s but you do have obstacles, for that one, it's a sprint, so it was 4 miles, and it was 18 obstacles, I think is what that one was. So, you're climbing over. And when you get into those races, you realize how nice humans are
Yeah.
because there's people there and they're helping like, other people up and they're reaching out their hands to pull you across
Oh,
because
gotcha.
if you can't do an obstacle, you have to do I think it's 10 or 20 burpees, 10 burpees, something like that on the side. And nobody wants to do burpees. So
Yeah.
so
So they help everybody out.
yeah, so there's a lot of people that group up, so that's really nice.
I saw something one time. There was a guy that you said the Tough Mudder, and that's what reminded me. There was a guy who did that, and he did not have legs, and he only had one arm,
Oh,
and he
wow.
ran it. And he was the title was something like, "This is my day. What are you doing?" And I took it to heart because some my own you know I think David just got home probably. That was weird. That was loud. It sort of startled me. Uh, thinking about my own health issues and then looking at this guy and I don't try to compare myself to other people with those issues, but still, at the same time, it was very motivational to see, something like that, to somebody who could just didn't let the world get him down, was just going.
Right.
So when was the last time you did one of those?
So it was 2019. It's right. This is the year we got married. That was the
Okay,
last one that I did.
got
It
you.
it just seems like COVID just kind of shut down a lot of things.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we're actually planning on doing one in April. So there's my motivation to start working out again. So
gotcha. Yeah, yeah. That's not that far. It's going to be here
no,
before you know it. It's like right around
yeah.
the corner.
And
Now,
that's in Charlotte, so I know there's a lot of people near Charlotte that could come out and join that with me, so
there
fish
is.
fam for the Spartan race.
Dee Dee isn't too crazy far, right? And Brandon and Paul. I mean, they're probably a decent amount. I mean, they're. But yeah, I
Yeah,
got to imagine there's
it's
quite a
about
few that are close.
3 hours for me to drive it, so I can be in
Got you.
Charlotte in 3 hours and Knoxville, Tennessee in 3 hours, so
Got you. Now, did you go to that aquatic expo that they held in Charlotte last year?
I did. It was mind-blowing. So that was actually the first, aquarium or hobbyist event that I've ever been to, and
Yeah.
it was so big. I mean, I walked that track. I was like a mouse in a maze looking for cheese. I mean, I was so
Well,
lost.
don't say cheese. No, I want cheese.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And who did you get to meet at that one too? Because now Sabu, the guy who puts it on, used to live in that area, but now he moved to Pennsylvania. So he just started putting that event on. He lived in the area, but then him and his wife decided to move to Pennsylvania because we've hung out a little bit at the Keystone Clash last couple of years. Him and his wife, I forgot her name. I apologize if they ever watch this, but super nice couple. A lot of fun just to hang around with. But it's funny that he started this new event and then moved away from the area where it's going to be. So
Yeah, 'cause
sorry,
it was It
who'd you
was
get to
pretty
meet?
crowded. I mean, it seemed like it was really popular. The only people that I met there that I kinda knew was Grant and Shelby, and
Okay,
they were so slammed. They were
yeah,
so busy that day, so I
yeah,
didn't bother them or anything like that. I bought some,
yeah.
plants off of them, a couple shrimp bags, and then that was it. But the thing I really loved and, really enjoyed. We went and looked at the aquascapes, but we also listened to a lecture on aquatic snakes as pets. And that guy was so much fun to listen to. He was actually one of the producers for Shark Weeks, and I can't remember his name for nothing right now, but
Gotcha.
it was a really fun lecture. And it was just something I didn't even know that was a part of our hobby or a
Yeah,
section of our hobby at
me
all.
neither. Now, did you want to get one after that?
I kinda did, but,
Yeah,
it seems it's gonna be much bigger space you have to devote to it, much bigger tank. We had, a bad experience with the 150. The silicone let go,
oh,
and we
yeah.
had 150 gallons hit our
Oh,
water
no.
or our floor, while we were at work. So
Oh, no, and you lost everything in it too?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
well, one little bitty zebra danio lived for me, but all the other ones
That's
really didn't make
heartbreaking.
it. It was. It
Same
was
thing.
very heartbreaking.
The tank I had up here was a 29. It had all my Pseudomcgills and some bumblebee gobies in it, and some shrimp, and I lost most of them. Quite a few, especially I had some very special ones I got from my buddy Vinay, and I lost almost all of them because it happened overnight. I didn't,
Yeah.
you know, in the
Yeah, it
morning.
never happens when you're aware.
Yeah, like you're sitting there and you hear something start dripping. You can't do it at
Right.
that point.
Right. Did you like bumblebee gobies? Because I was thinking about getting
Yeah,
them. I'd never
yeah,
tried them.
and I was surprisingly they talk about them only liking live foods, but mine would eat the Hikari fancy guppy pellets. They're tiny.
Mhm.
They were the mini ones from Hikari. There was a moss ball in that tank, and I would specifically drop them on there, and they would come over and pick them out off the moss ball all the time. So
Oh.
they did eat some of the different foods for me. I do brine shrimp. I do a lot of different things. I don't have a ton of live food other than the brine shrimp, but a lot of frozen stuff. But they did fine with it, and they were so much fun to watch. I did have one survive that, but he's since passed on too. So
Mm.
I lost I only saved like 5 total Pseudomcgills. I had different ones, a couple Luminatus, and so I lost a whole bunch of stuff from that tank. It's just always heartbreaking, And
Yeah.
150 though, I mean, geez,
Well, fortunately, we didn't get everybody moved over yet. So we had just set it up. It ran for about 2 weeks. I did just stock it with a bunch of lemon tetras, which I loved. They were so beautiful. And then we had the zebra danios because I know it's such a basic fish, but it's they're my favorite. They're one of my
are they,
favorites because
are they, yeah.
they are so active. I mean, they're like little crackheads. They're just going every way.
Well, they're so important too, right? The zebra danios are the ones that they use in, so
Yeah,
many tests and stuff because they do have a lot of things in common. I guess their spine and different things, right?
yeah.
So,
And they
and
can regenerate fins and things like that. That was a big study they did for a long
yeah,
time on regeneration properties and growing. So
it's so
it was,
cool.
you know,
Like Silver Creek could grow back his fingers, that would be so
yeah.
cool. Um, long fin ones too. Do you like those, or are you just the standard?
I don't have anything against them. I just never kept them. I've just
Yeah,
always had the standard ones, and even like the little leopard ones they have now. I think they're cute as can be, but I've just always kept the regular zebra ones.
gotcha, gotcha. Okay, we've got. Oh, I forgot. We are a half an hour ahead, or
Oh,
15 minutes ahead. So it's about time to open it up to the chat. But before we do that, was there anything that we sort of missed to talk about that you feel, like something that's happened in your life that you'd like to share with us that's either good or bad, or if you want to do anything for promotional for your channel? Like, I know you don't do a whole lot with your own channel, but if you want to, this is a good time to do that.
yeah.
So is there anything we missed or anything there?
This next year I'll probably get more into trying to post, just pictures or just little short videos. I don't really want views. I don't I don't really need a following, I guess you'd say. But
Yeah,
I do like the Discord. I love Discord because you can share so
yeah,
much. Like you
yeah,
just
yeah,
post a picture and then like Scotty, he'll make fun of you if you don't know the official name, the Latin names for killifish, but that's
yeah,
okay because he's still great.
yeah.
So,
And he doesn't
uh,
know any popular culture, so just come back with like, yeah, just anything about popular culture, and he won't know the answer. He won't even know who you're talking about. So you can compare him to somebody, and he won't even know who that is. It's a good way to come back. Thank you for that.
but I do want to. Yeah, I do love the Discord. So if anybody hasn't got into the Fish Fam Discord, I do recommend it because I think you all are a great supportive bunch. I
Yeah,
mean, it's just been
I
great,
got it.
real
I got
positive.
it open right now. Actually, it's your message from when we were talking. But yeah, Fish Court is open right now, and I'm glad you said that because there's a lot of people that feel whatever. They don't feel like they deserve to be there. Like some people came in and said they thought it was just for big channels and content creators, which, not even close. Other people not sure how to use it. People there aren't going to make fun of you or be, jerks to you because you don't know how to use it. Ask questions. People do their best to answer. It's a very, very welcoming group. So if you're not on the Discord, again, there's no barrier to entry. Everybody's welcome, and you don't need to do anything. Everything's free. If you've got internet, you can get on there. Yep. So thanks for that commercial. Yeah. I appreciate that. Okay, let's go ahead and open it up to the chat. And again, we have an hour from now, people.
I'm ready for Zinger's questions now.
I love that. That's great. Whole bunch of people still here. Let's see. It looks like there's 46 people in currently. Thank you so much. And I see Scotty gave us a $5 super chat. And he says, Killer Kitty has more than a stripper pole. She has killifish. But I must say, she's also amazing and so much fun to play D&D with. We're going to get comments about the stripper pole. That's okay. You knew, though.
Bring them on.
And again, people, if you've got questions for Holly, do the now you can see chat, right?
Yeah, I have it on my phone.
Okay, but I'll try and feed you the questions just so we're not jumping around and stuff. Do the @Rico stand for me so it pops out. I can really see it. Nano Aquarium Guy is the first one I see there. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me just check something because I don't get notifications or anything. Okay, so it looks like there was just some membership stuff. Okay, I realize now that I missed that on here when there's like membership things or anything like that. Okay, so the first one I see is from our buddy Jay. He wants to know, how does she feel about glowfish, Danny O's?
I really don't have an issue with glowfish. I'm kind of the same standing as Jason, Depths Unknown, when he got his glow shark. I think that thing looks so cool, and I think it does get them into the hobby, but I'm so devastated, because we did talk about how they've been released into the wild, and that's affecting, the wild population, but it I don't know. I don't know which side I'm on.
Yeah. I like them as well because it doesn't hurt the fish in the aquarium hobby. But how would it? What does it do when they get into the wild? Do they start taking over for?
I haven't researched into it much, but the way they were talking in chat on Jason's is they breed with the population, the wild population, and I guess that jellyfish DNA that's spliced into them is passed on, and I'm assuming that the problem or the situation really could be that them having the jellyfish DNA makes them more apt for predation and could really decimate the population over time.
Yeah.
Having that trait. So
yeah, really standing out if the other fish can see them that much better. They don't have their natural Okay.
I don't know if that's the reason for sure, but that's the only thing I could come up with. But I do currently have 3 glowfish, but all those fish came from a friend of mine who had to take her tank down. She has an autistic child, and he kept trying to catch them by hand. So she ended up just saying, forget it. When I have a tank I can put up higher where he can't get it, then I'll whatever. So I'm fish sitting or permanently having them, one or the other.
I think I would like to get some glowfish in the future. I think they're pretty cool. Ed, I just happened to see that one. If Killer could play D&D with one guest YouTuber, who would it be? So I'm assuming like he means in your normal party, and you add one guest in there. Who would the first one be that you'd like to add?
The Zen Ginger.
Good one.
I want her. I want her in D&D.
Yeah.
She would be the perfect addition. I just think she'd bring so much fun to it.
Good answer. And I push her every once in a while to come join us on the Focus On. I get it. I get it. She's not comfortable, and I don't want to push her away. At the same time, would love to, learn more about her because that's definitely somebody I care a lot about too. So, Scruffy City, I was thinking about you, Mitch. It's good to see you. Haven't seen Scruffy City in forever.
I do miss Mitch. I do miss Mitch.
Yeah, I do too, and it's good to see you, Scruffy. It's good to see you. Okay. Oink Master, hi Oinky. Much love to you both, she says. If money was no issue, is there any place you would like to travel to most in the world?
Oh yes, there's so many places. If money was absolutely no issue, gosh, I would like. Can I cheat and say like all of Europe?
Sure.
Just
Sure. Well, I mean,
we
it's the
just do a whole
EU.
continent.
I mean, the EU takes up so much of it, right? So it makes
Right,
sense,
yeah.
you know.
So I would love to just hop country to country. I think I I don't know if anybody remembers, but I Love Lucy did this special way back in the day, and, like, they were traveling across Europe, and they were doing part by train, part by bicycle, and,
Yeah,
like, everybody was supposed to learn a language, so when they hit that country I'd love to do that. I thought that was, like, the coolest idea when I was a kid. Like, yeah, you can, bike ride from this country to this country. How cool is that? So
that would be pretty neat. That would be. The Trailer Park Boys did something like that too. That's I don't know if you ever watched the Trailer Park Boys.
seen it.
It's such a dumb show. They're horrible people. It's a dumb show, and I absolutely love it. They're just horrible people. They go to jail at the end of every season. You know, they're just horrible. And but I just love them so much. And they did a Europe thing. So okay, Scotty the Fish Freak jumped on me. Well, there it is. Okay, which speaker is she most excited to see at the 2024 Clash? And he said
Oh,
we
God.
moved it a weekend, so she has no excuse not to come.
Yes. Oh, and yeah, I will. I'm like 90%
That's
sure
awesome.
I'm coming this time. So,
That's awesome.
I don't know the list of speakers because Scotty goes when I'm at work, and I don't get to watch his live streams and listen.
There,
So,
I think on Instagram and on Facebook they do have like a static image with a bunch of information about all the
oh,
different speakers and stuff. So,
yeah.
um,
So me and Ed really are brother and sister when it comes to social media usage because I'm not good at
okay,
Facebook or
okay,
Instagram.
yeah. I don't remember all of them. I'll answer for you. But Rebecca Bentley, who is on the Discord server, she's a biologist, an ichthyologist, right? I don't know if she's a biologist or an ichthyologist. Anyways, she's a scientist, and she lives in the UK. And I've wanted to meet her. She's going to be
That's
coming over. So
freshwater ichthyology. Is that her
yes,
user? Yes,
yep,
yes,
yep,
she is brilliant.
yeah,
She
very
would be
knowledgeable,
exciting to
and
watch.
I'm looking forward to meeting her and listening to her talks.
I
I
hope Scotty does a talk on killifish. I think he should be a speaker as well as the person that puts it on.
I don't, you know, just putting more and more.
Yeah,
He just doesn't. There's no way he could. You know, he needs to step away from the committee, and
yeah.
then he could be a speaker. Because if you see him there, he's always running, usually limping. You know, because
Oh,
it's things are. You know. Next up is Big Cat. Hello. Wants to know if you believe in aliens.
I do. I think it would be. I don't know. I just don't want to think that we live in this massive universe and we're it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't wanna believe that. So it is just me believing. I have no proof. I've never been abducted or seen anything super
Yeah.
weird, but I do love stargazing. That's something that Adam really loves is, stars and constellations, and that's one of
Yeah.
the things he used to woo me. We would, play tennis until, like, 2 or 3 in the morning, and then we'd lay on our backs and we'd, like, look up constellations on our phones and,
Oh, that's
try to
awesome.
find them. So, yeah, that was one of the things that really brought us together.
So goddamn wholesome.
Oh,
You know, just all of the. I was going to ask. That was one of the questions I was going to ask. That was how you and Adam met.
he took a part-time job at Lowe's,
Okay.
just with his ex-girlfriend. So they were together then, and then they broke up, and she left Lowe's, and
You
then
broke
I
them up.
came.
You
No,
broke them
no,
up.
no, no,
No,
I
no,
didn't. I didn't.
no, you did.
I
That's how.
didn't.
No,
I
you
wasn't
did.
there. I
I
wasn't there.
well, you were now.
I
That's
am
the
now.
story
Yeah.
now. That's the story now.
So I joined Lowe's because my cousin and my boyfriend at the time worked there. And
That's
he
it.
joined Lowe's because his girlfriend at the time was there. She quit. They ended up breaking up. And then my boyfriend quit and went to college. And oh, it was a little messed up story, but
Excuse me.
we ended up playing tennis together and just really found out we just had this connection. But we had this trip planned to go zip lining and whitewater rafting with my boyfriend and his friend and my cousin and her boyfriend, and then Adam was coming too. And it ended up because I was going to break up with him. I swear to God, I was going to break up with him before that trip. But my cousin and Adam were like, you can't. We've already paid $400. They can't get their money back. You can't break up with them. So I was, I was a terrible person for like a week and a half. And as soon as we got back to my cousin's house, I'm just like, sorry.
So
So
Adam broke you guys up.
that's
That's the real
exactly right.
story. Yeah,
That's the
Adam.
one.
All right. So he's shifty, this Adam. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know if I trust him. I don't know if I trust him. Zenny wants to know, I'm going with the sidekick question first. I want to know who she picks. You got to live, work, and play with any fictional character, like a personal sidekick. Which one would you pick? Fictional.
Oh man. I'm gonna go with Merida from Brave. The
Oh, yeah. The star, basically.
yeah. I want to learn how to shoot a bow. I love that accent so
Yeah,
much. I think
yeah.
she'd be a lot of fun, and nobody'd really mess with you. So I think that would be a fun addition to life.
How old is she supposed to be in that? Is she starts out young, but she is an adult by the end of it, right?
Yeah, I well, I'm not sure because, Disney now and Disney then is weird, but I know that she was going to be married.
Yeah,
So in my head, I'm like 18, but I don't
yeah.
know that for sure. It could be like 16 because Snow White got married when she was 14. So, you know, who knows?
Because I was going to mention something about her hair, but then I was like, wait a minute, that might have been a kid, So then what I was going to say was really gross.
Oh,
I liked her hair. I'll just leave it at that.
yeah.
I do have a thing for hair, so that was always. Nobody has said a droid yet. I was surprised. I thought somebody would say like R2D2 or C3PO because I feel like those would make great sidekicks because they don't need much.
They would
And
be.
when you want some alone time or you just had enough of them for the day, hey, can you just power down? And that's it, So I don't know. Nobody has said that yet. So, but that's a good one. I like yours. That's a
A
good one.
good sidekick for you would be Bender from Futurama. Have you
Oh
ever
yeah,
watched
yeah,
it?
yeah. Like my shiny metal ass.
Yeah,
I can't do
I
a
love
voice, but yeah,
Futurama.
yeah, me too, me too. Yeah, Bender would be a good one. Yeah. Let's see, Coro, favorite fish to eat, and would you keep that fish?
Favorite fish to eat would probably be oh gosh, there's so many. I'm probably going to be boring and say salmon because I love salmon cakes.
I love salmon too.
Oh,
Love
I do.
salmon.
And we actually they broke ground and they leveled this huge field, which was super sad because they were going to start a fish farm behind the college just down the road from me. And I had plans to like, I'm getting a job there. I'm going to get a job there. But the thing with the mountains is we have rocks. And so leveling out a space is a lot more expensive than to do it, say,
Oh,
somewhere that's flat, that's
yeah.
not, just pure rocks that they have to blast all the time. So they ran out of money. So I don't think that project's going to continue forward now.
Oh, now there's just a big scar there.
Yeah, and it's awful. They took so much land out, and I mean, it's vast how much land they took out, and now it's like they're just not doing anything with it. So, but
That's
they might bring it back. I don't know, but if they do, I probably will raise salmon one day.
I do. I like salmon. I think if I had a big enough tank to keep one, it would be difficult because it would look so delicious
Yeah.
swimming around in there. I don't look at my fish now and go, "Oh, I would like to eat." But with a salmon, I would just imagine. I would call it steaky. Because salmon steaks are delicious. So
Salmon patties.
my friend grew up on a farm. My very best friend in the whole world grew up on a farm, and they always named the cows like hamburger or this
Oh,
one's
no.
tri-tip or whatever it was. They named them all after different cuts of meat and stuff because they did slaughter all their
Yeah.
stuff that right there. He had no problem with it. I was like, oh, how you do that? And he was like, it's but they named all of their stuff like after cuts of meat.
We do have one rule, if you name it, you don't eat it. So that was one thing when we got chickens, we named every one of them. So we
Yeah.
always had egg layers. We never we
Now
never
was
had
that
chicken meat.
was that when you were young or is that with you and Adam?
No, that was my family. So my
Oh, okay.
brother, he
Gotcha.
always wanted chickens. And he's like a
Yeah.
chicken whisperer. I don't know. He goes out, they all come up to him like little dogs. He can just scoop them up and pet them.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah.
Uh, that's my son the same way. Although his wife, my daughter-in-law, she's really the chicken whisperer. There, she's the one that really, they follow her around the yard all the time, and just. But the same thing. They would never eat them. They're pets,
Yeah.
and they just happen to give them eggs.
They're so cute.
Next up is your brother, Chattanooga Ed. If Killer and Rico forgot to buy a turkey for Thanksgiving, what one of your neighbor's pets would you eat in its place? I'm not sure I follow that it has to go that way, but
So let's see. We are inundated with stray cats. So that's probably my really only choice. But we do have bear, we do have deer in our backyard. Do those count as pets?
for some people, yeah.
Right? So maybe we could get deer steak for our turkey dinner.
Same here. We get deer quite often, black bear, turkey, just all kinds of stuff in the yard. I think I would go with a cat as well because there's one that loves to just get in a place where Wally can see him and then just sit there. And Wally goes crazy every time he sees that cat. He's shaking and he's like making all these weird noises as he's whining, like it makes me laugh, but then he does that really deep bark, and
Yeah, and that cat knows. That cat
yeah.
knows what it's doing.
Yeah. Well, first of all, though, it really bothers me that so many people do let their cats roam free like that. It's just like any animal, though. I don't want to see any pets. I mean, if you live on a big farm and they've got all that room to run, that's a little bit different. But this is a neighborhood, and there's other people. There's a guy down the road that lets his dogs roam free every day. Even in the wintertime, it'll be 10 degrees outside, and these dogs are roaming around. It's just,
Yeah, we have a lady and she'll open her door and it's like a flood of cats come out and they'll have kittens, so they're not even fixed. But for some reason, we have a fenced in yard. So Nolly has a doggy door. He can just come and go as he pleases. But they'll come the little kittens will come into the yard. And like we had Tobin, she'd eat them. Sorry, everybody. But she would like drool and she would shake. And so that kitten looks at this big dog drooling, like, I'm going to eat you, and goes, oh, I'm going to go in there. And so, I mean, what do you do? What do you do?
I mean, what can you do?
Right.
Your
Well, we were
dog
never
can't.
home. Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible. But I bet that house smells fresh with all those cats too. Especially if they're not fixed and stuff, and it just
Yeah. Spray. That's one thing I hate. you fire up a car and you smell cat spray. That is the
Oh,
worst smell in the universe to me.
yeah.
We have
Same here.
motorcycles too, so you get on your motorcycle if you left it out of the building and it's
Yeah.
awful.
Same with juniper bushes. They always smelled like that to me as well. I don't like them around.
Yeah.
We were going to plant some, and I was like, "Oh, wait, this is juniper." No, because it smells the same to me.
Yeah.
Maybe not everybody, but next up is Steven's. He said Jenna's Freaky Friday question. Do you know what that one is? The Freaky Friday.
I
It's
don't.
the movie, right? Freaky
Yeah.
Friday.
Where
So
they
it's a body
switch.
switching thing. So what two fish fam people would you like to see switch bodies? It could be you and somebody else, or it could be just two other people. So they would be like, a weekend or a week, nothing permanent, just so they could see how the other half lives.
Um, I will switch. I like to switch Scotty with Whip because because of the height,
Yep.
so they could see what the other
Yep.
one has to go through.
Yep. I
Maybe
said the
be a little
same
more
thing.
sensitive to each other. Oh, did you?
Yep. Last week, but I used Ryan from Wild Fish Tanks down in Florida because he's like 6'7".
Oh,
Whip is
wow.
tall. Whip is
Yeah.
tall. He's like 6'4", just like Steven. But that guy is like 6'7". He's just, so that even more extreme, but the same exact reason though. Same exact reason.
Right.
It's funny. Let's see. Next one is from Mitch. It jumped on me. So, oh, sorry. It jumped quite a bit. There it is. Oh, he's just saying hi. He's just saying hi. I scrolled all the way back up. He's just saying hi. Next, Mountain Greenery. She's Big Cat's other half. And hi, Skipper. Hi, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us. Still 50 people hanging out. So thank you guys so much. Love it that you come in and learn more about our friends in the fish fam. Mountain Greenery. And again, there's so many people that ask their standard question, and I think it's a part of the show, and I absolutely just adore it. I absolutely love it. And her question is, if you could live in any of your tanks, which one would it be and why? And you can sort of decide in your mind how you're living in that tank. Are you shrunken down? Are you one of the fish that live in there? You can decide how, but which tank would you live in?
So this tank here, the 75, can you see him? Can you see this gorgeous baby?
Let's do this.
He is a African spotted leaf fish. I've had him for 8 years. There's two of them in there. He's mammoth. He's outgoing. He's my little water puppy. And then there's mini mammoth because he's a little smaller than mammoth. So, and then I have an angelfish in there. And this was my first attempt at any kind of resemblance of an aquascape. I failed. It's not great, but I like it, and I guess that's all that really matters. So I would probably pick that tank, and I'd probably be a leaf fish too because I just think they're really cool labyrinth fish. And I know Corey kind of said it from Aquarium Co-op. It's like as you get older, you start liking silver and brown fish. So you start out in the hobby loving beautiful
Yeah,
guppies and platies, and then as you go further along, you start appreciating these brown and silver fish more.
gotcha.
But they're the biggest fish I have, but they're my favorite. So I would definitely live in that tank with them.
Gotcha. And would you be yourself, like shrunken down, or would you be one of them? Did you say you'd be a leaf fish? Is that
I'd
what you
probably
said?
be one of
Yeah,
them because I'd like to
gotcha.
know what they think. I'd like to
Yeah,
talk to them.
yeah. I think it'd be sort of fun both ways, to be one of the fish, but also to just be yourself, but you could breathe underwater. So you've got like little
Yeah.
flippers on and little goggles, and you're,
Little
you
mermaid.
know, swimming around in there. Yeah, I think that'd be fun. Okay, next up, and let's see, we're doing on time. Nope, we're got plenty of time. June does ask about the pole. Is that for dancing? No, we discovered that. We did ask though. It is just purely for exercise. Purely for exercise. And the next question is from Dapper Dennis. Hello, Dennis. Is there a person Holly would like to have a conversation with from history? There's a two-parter too, so we'll do that one first. Is there somebody from history that you would really like to sit down and talk to?
I would love to sit down and talk with Edgar Allan Poe.
Okay.
I love his works, his
Yep.
readings, the way that he writes,
Yep.
and I just like him. So I would think he would be a really cool conversation to have.
Yeah. Yeah. My daughter's a massive fan of his. She might even have some of his, a line or two tattooed. I can't remember.
Oh, wow.
Maybe it wasn't a tattoo. She's got a lot of tattoos. Um, it might have been something else, but she's a huge, huge fan of his. So the second part of that is there a time period that you would like to visit? It doesn't have to be the past. It could be, anytime.
Let's see. I I know this is gonna sound morbid and a little messed up, but I would like to go back to the Jack the Ripper time.
Mm,
I wanna solve that mystery
yeah.
so bad. So
Yeah.
I would really like to go back there and be like, "Yeah, don't touch that fingerprints, and
Yeah.
let me get some DNA from that."
London CSI. Dun, dun, dun.
Right, yeah, so, my friend just went and visited England, and he did a Ripper walk, and I've never been so jealous of him in my life, but it's something that I do plan on doing, but yeah, that would probably be my time period that I'd wanna visit. I don't know that I'd wanna live there, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it'd be cool to
Yeah.
visit.
Same. Yeah. Would not want to live back then.
Right.
Um, Big Steve is up next. Would Holly rather have unlimited wealth or unlimited health? So you either have all the money you want, or you live forever with no health issues ever.
I know unlimited wealth would be really nice, but if I could choose to live forever, I probably would because I don't feel like in this one lifetime I'm going to scratch the surface of what this
Hmm.
world has. So I
Yeah.
would really like, because you can make enough money to get by. Plus, if you're immortal, I mean, you could take a little bit more risks that you normally wouldn't do. You could, so
Yeah.
yes, skydiving wouldn't think second thought about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would probably do immortality.
Hmm. You are definitely a very curious person about a lot of things. So I think you would need to have that to keep yourself, because you're going to lose, all your loved ones. You're going to watch them.
Yeah.
Uh, but you're right. You could play the long game, especially with like the stocks and stuff. You could, little bit here, and then it turns into, a lot down the road. Man, it is a good question, though. I love
It
these.
is.
I love these
And it
questions.
is hard because, like you said, you lose your loved ones, and that would be so
Yeah.
devastating. But,
Yeah.
it's just something I've always thought about. And and me and Adam have this pact that, if aliens do come and you get that opportunity, you take it. You don't worry about each other. We do have that agreement. So
Yeah. I
it
can just
must be the
imagine
same with immortality.
I can imagine the conversations you have knowing that come up. That's awesome. Yeah. That's probably right after playing tennis and looking at the stars, right? That
Stars,
was
yep.
yeah. Zenny, the rest of your ideal life in 5 words. Now, again, that could be a sentence, 5-word sentence, or it could be just 5, separate words that would describe your ideal life.
Okay. I guess I'll go with joy, friends, family, wealth, and health. Yeah, that's that.
Yeah. What else? What else is there?
Yeah, I mean,
I think you got like the real ones, you know what I mean? The ones that
yeah.
really uh to have a good life, I think you nailed all the ones that you need to have. Good job. I think
Thanks.
that's, I mean, I agree with you. I think that those are the things that are most important,
Yeah,
you know? Scotty the Fish Freak says she wants to learn to shoot a bow. She does it every Tuesday night usually.
I do. I did pick a ranger. It's true.
Knowing what I know about you now,
And that's
after
the
our
fun thing about
conversation,
fantasy.
that suits you. That suits you. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
let's see. Next one I see is is from Mitch. He wants to know what kind of pizza: New York, Chicago, Sicilian, or frozen, or something else. What kind of pizza?
So, I have had New York pizza, New York City. I've been there, and we did just get some street pizza, and it was amazing. I've not tried the others, so just based off my limited knowledge, I'm gonna go with New York pizza.
Okay.
Start a
That's
fight in the chat.
yeah. That's the wrong answer, but
Right?
it's
Yeah,
your
right?
answer. It's pizza. It's pizza. There is no wrong answer.
Yeah, I
There is no
agree.
wrong answer. I have my preferences, but if somebody offered me a slice of any of the other ones, I'm going to eat it.
Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy it. It's pizza.
The one I
Um,
had the big blobs of mozzarella. Oh my goodness, it was so good.
yeah,
Cheese
it
again.
is. Yep. I do love cheese. I love cheese so much. There's TikTok. I watch all these cheesemongers, and there's one lady every day she puts out a new one where she's cutting some other cheese from someplace. So she cuts the cheese, and it, she opens it up and she shows you what it's like inside. She tells you where it's from, and then she tells you all about it, what it pairs well with, and just she teaches you about the cheese, but also what to expect from it. And every time I see one, she does such a good job of describing it that I feel like I can taste it, and I want to. I want
Oh,
to taste it. It's so that she's never had a cheese. I was like, ugh, they all just look amazing. All right, sorry. Favorite YouTuber, and this is from Jay, Nano Aquarium guy. Favorite YouTuber outside of fish fam or fish keeping?
oh God, just one? Oh,
You watch a lot of other content on YouTube's.
I watch a lot of D&D content.
Do you?
So, DM Layer, but also Dungeon Dad. I'd really recommend Dungeon Dad to anybody that likes stories and lore
Yeah.
because he takes monsters like from the first edition of Dungeons and Dragons and he converts them for the current edition, but he tells you, why change this or do that, but he'll tell you their story and how you would use them and their combat. So he is so fun and funny to watch. I love him.
God.
And then DM Layer, he's just straightforward. He's just one of them straight shooters. So I love him too. But I watch a lot of murder mysteries. Snapped is one of my favorites. But just different things like that. I don't know.
So that's come up quite often, and I saw a lady again. I think it was on TikTok. I don't know. It was a video, and she was saying that so many women are interested in murder mysteries and true crime and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff because they want to know how to react in a situation like that if it comes up. It's an educational thing because a lot of times they have had or known people that have been through something like that. So which was really just eye opening to me that so many women, because I try to be open minded and stuff like that, but I still don't have those experiences. So to that realization that people are living a life like that and that helps them was eye opening.
Yeah. So I actually do watch a lot of the true crime and stuff, but I don't know. If you're doing it to learn how to react, you're going to be so confused because the police suspect this person because they cried too much, and the police suspect this person because they didn't cry any. And I don't, if something happened to Adam, I'm going to jail whether I did it or not because they're going to look at my YouTube history and then I'm going to be there like, do I cry? Do I not cry? I don't know. So I don't know.
You'll be overthinking it. Oh,
Right.
back to your dungeon guy there. I'm glad that he is Dungeon Dad and not Dungeon Daddy because I feel like that's a whole different
Yeah.
thing, and it would just be
Don't
gross and
YouTube
creepy.
that.
Yeah,
Don't
don't.
YouTube.
No. Okay, Eric wanted to ask his favorite sandwich question in case he doesn't make it back in time. Thank you, Zenny. So that's Eric Wyrock's question. What's your favorite sandwich? What would be your favorite?
Oh gosh. Favorite sandwich is boring. It's a hot ham and cheese sub. Love a hot ham and cheese sub with mayonnaise, tomato, lettuce. It's just a good sub to me. I don't.
Yeah. I'm same with pizza when it comes to that kind of stuff. I like a good sandwich too, and I'm not too particular, right? I
Yeah.
do have favorites, but if you handed me, oh yeah, ham and cheese, hot ham and cheese, especially, yeah, oh yeah,
Mhm.
I would do
Yeah.
mustard though, mustard instead. A
Yeah,
nice,
Adam's the same way. He don't like mayonnaise either.
yeah, I don't need it. Tomato sandwiches, that's it. That's the only place I have mayonnaise, unless
Yeah.
it's cooked in with something, But you know,
Yeah.
Okay, next up, Victor Coco wants to know how Wally is. He's doing great, Victor. Thank you very much. He just barked a little bit ago. Um, it jumped big time. I gotta scroll. There we go. Okay.
A good channel for sandwiches though, Roll for Sandwich. I watch that every Wednesday and Saturday. If you get a chance to see it, he takes D&D 20-sided die and he rolls and he has like this random chart and he makes a sandwich built off of it and he has to eat it. So that's a good
I've
one
heard
too.
of that.
And he
Maybe you
talks
talked
about
about
different
it.
cheeses.
Did
Um,
somebody has talked about it because maybe Michelle or Ariel watches it. I'll have to ask. Roll for sandwich.
uh-huh. And one of the
Okay.
things I sent you, the little freeze-dried cheese curds, I got
Yeah,
from him because he
gotcha.
rolled them, and I was like, "Ooh, Rico would like this," so I sent them to you,
Those
but
were
then they didn't have
very
flavor.
interesting. Yeah, they weren't super strong flavored
Yeah.
though. You know what I mean? I was almost a little disappointed in them because I was expecting more of but they were still
Yeah,
good.
I
I like
kept a
the better
bag
than
and tried
potato
them
chips.
too. They were yeah.
Yeah, interesting though. I mean, I do like regular cheese curds. We get those quite often. Next up is Oinky. Hi, Oinky. Because you are the awesome D&D sister to my beloved Chattanooga Ed, I'd be happy and honored to refer to you as my sister too.
Yes, I
Yeah,
love Oinky, she's
yeah,
so sweet.
she is
And
too.
the hat she had on at the Clash, oh my gosh,
Yep.
I want that. I love her style.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yep. She is definitely somebody you have to meet. You do. You just have to meet her. Zenny says if she could only have one condiment for the rest of forever, which one would it be?
Mayonnaise.
Really?
I love it. I can lick a spoon of it. I mean, I love it. I
Oh,
know.
my my daughter. I don't remember what social media it was. It was Twitter or whatever, or X now, I guess. But back in the day, she used to. Her name was Whiter Than Mayo. Whiter Than Mayo. That was her nickname. Or her. I like it in stuff. Don't get me wrong. Again, like on a tomato sandwich, for some reason, maybe because we had it when I was a kid. I don't know. I like it there. If it's on a sandwich, okay, I'm going to eat it. But and in stuff like potato salad and things, it's okay. I just
Yeah.
don't, especially when people like overboard with it and it's like gloppy and it disgusts me. It's so disgusting.
I love it and ranch, so, ranch would be a very close second.
You and Ariel would definitely get along well too. Dapper Dennis says, just teasing, UPS just dropped a 30-ounce can of sharp cheddar from Washington State University. You son of a 30-ounce can. A 30-ounce can of sharp cheddar. Canned cheese. I mean, I've got, Cheese Whiz, but I did not know. I've never, because I always just go to the store. So a can of sharp cheddar. Or maybe that's something to do with, maybe it's not even a can, it might just be the name of it, how it comes. I honestly don't know. There's not a lot I don't know about cheeses. I just happened to see your message, Kalish. And again, I probably have skipped other people's messages. If you don't do the @Rico Stan, or you don't have to have the you can just do Rico Stan and it'll stand out. I don't see it because I jump over all the stuff knowing that we've only got about 15, 20 minutes left. So I go quick,
Wow.
but I did happen to see it. Kalish wants to know what's your favorite road trip soundtrack. So if you were going on a road trip and you could listen to one album or one collection, what would it be?
It's probably gonna be the Broadway musical. I would probably I know you don't like them, but I love them. I would probably pick, Les Mis. I I love the songs, sing
Yeah.
every one of them. Just that or there's Wicked, Hamilton. I mean, you give me You give me something to sing with, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Now if someone's in the car with me, I'm gonna go and do 80s rock, 60s, 70s, 80s rocks, do those
Okay.
classics. I love that music too. Again, music with a story to me, and I think that's what you got more back then. I can't do rap, I can't do country. Uh, Pop's okay, but if it's
Yeah.
just about, eh. So, but yeah, probably those older songs or something Broadway.
Yeah. We would have to take different cars if you were going to do musicals. But the rest of it I would be good with. But there is a lot of good stuff today with those stories. But especially if you look into like indie folk, or it's not even indie anymore, but bands like Lord Huron, the Decemberists. I mean, there's a whole bunch of bands that they're not very overproduced like a lot of the newer music is, and there's older music that was overproduced too. But um, it does have that story, so there is a lot of that stuff out there. It's just a lot harder to find these days, I think. It's
Yeah.
definitely out there though, in that genre. Scotty the Fish Freak is saying Brooklyn's question, leave the poll out of it. Oh. Do you have any? Okay, I got it. I didn't get it first. Brooklyn's question is, do you have any strange physical talents? Like, can you wiggle your ears or, anything like that?
I can fold my tongue, so I don't know. I know like some people can, some people can't. That's it. I don't like I said, I'm not flexible in any way, shape, or
Gotcha.
form. So that's it. I can fold my
Yeah.
tongue over.
But that's exactly the kind of stuff Brooklyn's looking for with that question. So, Kyle wants to know and hi Kyle, if Holly wasn't doing what she's doing now, what would you be doing?
So what I wanted to do with my degree, and young women out there, don't let men ruin your career goals. But so I went to a local college because that's the one my current boy or past boyfriend, ex-boyfriend was going to. So they didn't have the program that I really needed. I really wanted to get into wildlife sciences. I really wanted to do not so much game warden, but like maybe park ranger, or I really wanted to do zoology or an
Yeah,
aquarium job. Like, so jealous of Scotty. He gets to go to the aquarium every day. It's like, yeah,
yeah,
that'd be so cool. But to do that, I would have had to move away. So it was one of those things like, well, I can get scholarships here and I can stay local and still get a biology degree, but then I just never did much with it after that. But it would definitely be something dealing with animals. So that would be my dream job.
yeah. And again, you really didn't follow that up because of a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the
Nah.
time. Don't do that.
Don't do
I
that.
agree.
Don't
I
do that.
agree. I sort of laughed when you said forest ranger because that's what I was going to be. I
Oh.
was going to be Ranger Rick. That's what I was.
Oh,
I really
that'd be
was.
great.
I was started that way with school and everything, and then I don't know what happened along the way, but I went into IT instead. I mean, as far as you could probably
Right.
get from a forest ranger, but that was where I was headed, and I was gung ho. I was going to do that, and yep.
And I
I
have a friend who's a park ranger, and again, just so jealous that that's her life every day. But
yeah,
she'll tell you horror stories and she'll tell you great stories. So it's
yeah,
like every job, there's ups
yeah.
and downs. But I met her through the Virginia Master Naturalist program.
Oh,
So
nice.
there should be a master. Oh my gosh, I can't even say it now. Virginia Natural Master's degree. It's a certificate program,
Yeah.
basically. So, if you master naturalists, if you go and Google that, they'll actually show chapters in your area. And I'm butchering this advertisement, but
I know. I get where you're going. Just be
yeah,
careful if you do search for that. Don't search for a naturist because naturalists are different. A lot of places there's nudity involved in one or the other.
right.
So just saying, you got to be careful. And that's a great idea, though. I never thought about doing it now.
It really helped me, learn a lot about different things. So you go through, I think it's like a semester long, so maybe like 6 to 8 weeks in the fall and winter, and you meet once a week, and they have different speakers come and they educate you on like salamanders. And then they have trips. So we went to a fish hatchery. We went on a
Yeah.
salamander hike to find salamanders, and you're with a group of other outdoorsy people that just
Yeah.
you can nerd out as much as you want and they don't
Yeah.
care. It was a really it's a really cool way to socialize without, and then you can connect online and stuff like that and go to groups. So it was fun.
It sounds amazing. It sounds. I never even thought about looking into something like that. I mean, I've
Mhm.
done some of the bird stuff, with groups, and because we do have a lot of bird groups. So, Cornell is not very far from us. They have a very big, like eBird is from Cornell. They
Yep.
made that, and so there's a lot of bird groups in the area, and I've done some of those things with them. But that sounds amazing because
Mhm.
it's going to be broad, right? It's going to be over a
Yeah.
whole bunch of different subjects outdoors, and yeah, that sounds good. Oh, Dennis got the cheese from his brother. Your brother should be sending me cheese too, Dennis. I'm very jealous right now. It's just wrong. I thought we were friends, Dennis. Scuba Steve. Scuba Steve says, well, it's time I start a question. What movie role would you replace yourself in? Is that anybody's personal question they ask? There is something like that, right? Isn't it? Somebody asked a question that I don't remember, but
Oh, sure.
here we go anyways. So what movie role would you put yourself in? So if you could play the part in any movie, what's it going to be?
That's so hard. Um, so what I normally do when I watch anything like an anime series or a movie or anything, I make my own character in it. So it's
Yeah.
hard for me to be like, oh, I want to play that because I don't want to play it like that person played it. Like it's like, she's really whiny and she needs
Yeah.
help and saved and all that. It's like that.
I do hate
Um,
that in anime. The whining in anime it gets to me. It's too high pitched. It's too high pitched.
right.
Anyways,
So, but as far as a movie, a character I'd really like to take over. Oh gosh, I don't know.
it's a good question.
It's a very good question. You stumped me on that, Steve-O.
Yeah. I think I'd be Falcor from the Never Ending Story. I think I could rock that
Oh,
that role. I would make a good Falcor
I love
because I'm very
Falcor.
cuddly. I'm very, so you could like pet my ears and stuff, and
Right.
I think I'd make a good Falcor.
Um, Gosh, I just don't know.
Especially, you're sort of on the hot seat, so it's like you got
Yeah.
to think of it. If you had time to build up to it, it's easier to think of a question or an answer to it.
Um, I would probably be. I know it's a guy lead, but I can't remember the character's name now. But in the Last Dragon, Sean Connery, where he was the dragon. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's an older movie.
Yeah.
And he has like the guy that was his partner. It simulated a dragon attack, and then he pretended to take down the dragon and all that. That would probably be a fun role to play, which I know
which,
that's all.
which one? The dragon or the
Oh,
or the
oh,
friend?
well, yeah, the dragon. If I can be the dragon, heck
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. What do we got? We've got about 10 minutes left, so people get your questions in here quick. How far behind am I in the chat? Oh yeah, I'm very far behind in chat. So um, time for Sophie's choice. If you had to, and this is from Zenny, if you had to pick one community and had to give up the others, would you pick fish, D&D, or something else entirely? And just the community, so not even the hobby, but just the community part of it.
Oh, well, probably. I mean, I'm not really in the D&D community so much. Like, I get my friends, but my friends aren't super into D&D. Like, they just kind of tolerate me with with it. So I would definitely give up I would definitely keep the fish fam 100% always because you all
Yeah,
are so supportive. so fun. Like, I
Yeah.
can be having the worst day in the universe, and I turn Afternoon Delight on, or, MD Fish Tanks, or, Nano Aquarium Guy, or whoever it would be
You
that's
shouldn't
on
you
at that
shouldn't have said any
time.
names because you're going to leave people out.
I know, everybody, all of you
Yep,
all.
yep.
But
Believe me, I
even
do
the
it all the
people
time.
in the chat, like, I go on Dan's Fish, and, Chevy always says hi to me, and
Yep,
that is so special to me. I
yep.
mean, and I know he probably don't really know me or anything like that, but him saying hi to me every
It's
single
actually a
time,
she.
it's so sweet. Oh, is it really? Oh, I'm
Yeah, yeah.
sorry.
That's okay. I mean, I'm sure she gets it a
Yeah,
lot. She gets it a lot.
yeah. So she is
She's
she's such
she's
a
super
bright
nice.
spot.
And you
Yeah.
know what? She was the very first person to say hi to me as well and make me feel welcome. And it's something that I don't do as well anymore when I'm in a live stream in the chat because I have a hard time with chat these days. Um, is saying hi to people, and I think we all should do it a little bit more often, especially if it's
Yeah.
somebody you don't know.
Yeah.
It's the first time you're seeing that person, say hi to them because maybe they come in and say hi and nobody says anything and they just feel like they're left out and they're like, yeah, these people are jerks, and they don't want to come back.
Yeah.
But somebody says hi to them and then now they feel like they're a part of the group. And they are.
Yeah.
They are. That's all it
Yeah.
takes. Whoa.
Oh, what happened?
This happened today too. You know what I think it is? Yep. It turned off a few things, so hopefully everything's okay. I don't see anything going on. We should be fine. You still see me, right? So that's all that
Yeah.
matters that way. Because if you're seeing me, then it's all good. Yeah, it should be fine. Sorry
Oh.
about that. I think it's just something I got to fix down there. Okay, we got to hurry up. Brandon, what's up, Brandon? Brandon, I will be making another video about the stuff that you sent for Wally. He did finish the pie today. It's gone. The pie is gone. It only took 1 day for the pie to be gone. So he is going to choose between the hot dog and the TV next, and I will do a video about that too. But again, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you sending Wally those toys. That was amazing of you, Brandon. Appreciate it. Coro says there are Jack the Ripper victims that were found by the police within 15 minutes of the attack occurring. It's totally solvable with a time machine. 15 minutes, yeah. So if you had all the tools and Forsnick, if you had all the proper tools, you could do it. Forsnick.
Foresight? Maybe?
Forensic.
Oh, forensics. Okay.
I said Forsnick. Forsnick sounds like something that happened that a Moyle would take care of or something. But it jumped. Let's see. We've only got a few minutes left here. Damn it. Okay, we got the. And his question was favorite Pokemon.
Favorite
That was Brandon.
Pokemon. Oh, there's so many. I'm gonna go. No, it's like
He's got a favorite.
I do. I have so many favorites.
He has a favorite. Brandon has a very
Oh,
clear
Brandon
favorite.
has a favorite?
Yeah,
Oh,
a very strong favorite. So whatever you say, it might be wrong. I'm just telling you.
yeah, I know. No pressure. I'm just gonna go with the basic little Charmander because that's probably the first Pokemon that really got me into Pokemon Go. My brother actually got me into Pokemon Go, but he got me into it by showing me the little Charmander. He's like, "Look what I caught!" Yeah, da da da. I'm like, "Oh, I want one." And I've been run off from the college because it was 2 in the morning and they didn't know me. And I pulled in the parking lot because it was like, "Ding, Pokemon!"
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
so cool. And then I'm sitting in the parking lot going, "Yeah, get it!" And the campus cop goes up, "What you doing?" gotta
Pokemon.
gotta catch them all, you know.
Did he
So
laugh or did he say, "Well, let's go ahead and
yeah,
move
he
on"?
laughed. They're
Yeah.
real sweet there.
I think Danny still plays that. Kenny and Danny. I think she still plays quite a bit because I remember Kenny quite often saying he's driving somewhere and she has him pull over real quick, and she's like yelling, "Pull over, pull over!"
Gotta get it.
And Charizard was his favorite.
Mm,
Are those related?
close.
Charmander? Is that
We're
like a
close.
level? Is that the?
Like an evolve, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't really know much about it, to be honest.
I've
My
never seen the show. I don't know
yeah.
if that's, like, taken me down a lot of points in his eyes, but I've never seen the show. I've only played the game, and I like the game.
Victor, thank you very much. It makes it easy when you have great guests like I have for 113 of these streams now. So we did do your question, Brookley. It was any strange physical talents, and she can roll her tongue. Um, I'm scrolling. I probably missed a lot. Vibes is here, and Vibes wants to know if you were at the Keystone Clash. No, but she will be next year.
Yep.
90 what percent?
90%. I'm 90%
90%.
there.
And I hope that by the first of the year, or after April, we're going to be up to 95%. I'm looking for.
If I
Okay.
book it, it'll go straight to 100, so that'll be what we need to look for.
Well, January. I mean, you can already do them. Yeah. Anyways, we don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to go. It is a wheel of cheese. Is sealed and aged in a can. Nice. I'll expect some of that next year at the Clash, Dennis, because Dennis is there at the Clash.
Oh,
He did bring me some hot honey from where his sister lives. That was really good too. I ate that up so quick, Dennis. Let's see. Oinky's here. 21 months. Yeah, that's right. We're on 23 months now. We're almost two years. Do you have a favorite aquatic plant and rock?
so I just got this black, I don't know what you call it. It's like black and white help me, Rico.
No, I can't
Sirius.
say it. But I think they'll know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
This rock. And
That rock.
I'm gonna say probably Anubis, because I actually had one a flower, and that was the most exciting time.
Yeah. Now,
I
do you
was running
remember
around taking
which
pictures.
one it is? Which
I
one?
don't know.
Yeah. There's
I
so
can
many
get him
different
for you.
ones. That's
Yeah, I
okay.
don't know what
That's
he
okay.
is.
We only have a couple minutes left too,
Yeah,
so I want to
I
hurry
don't
up
know
and
what
get
he
through.
is, so
Zenny's asking the cry question. You
dang
ready?
it,
You
Benny.
got your Kleenex there. So
Ready.
when you get to the end of your life, if someone from her past is there, who would you like that to be? And what would you like to hear them say?
So I would love to see my pets, and I
Ah,
would love all of them to say thank you. So yeah.
I didn't think it was going to get me. That's a good one. That's
Yeah,
definitely a good one.
just a good job. We had a good life. That's what I would look for.
God damn it, Zenny.
Yes, Jenny.
Yeah, I would like that too very much. I've had so many great, amazing pets. Uh,
Yeah.
Mostly dogs. I mean, I've had some cats that I really cared for too. I always joke about not liking cats, but I do. I just prefer dogs a little bit. That's all.
Yeah, same with
And
me.
I've just had so many amazing dogs. Well, not even that many. But, my entire life, maybe four. Myself, I mean, my kids have had animals, but yeah, that would be awesome. Favorite genre of books, TVs, and movies. And he said, I heard anime. That's right.
Fantasy,
Oh, that's from Jay.
anime,
Jay.
yeah. So fantasy books, novels, knights and dragons, and when they turn them on their head, and it's like the princess has kidnapped the dragon, and you got to save the dragon from the evil princess. Things like that. I love fantasies.
Yeah.
Um, Anime. I do love anime. Yu Yu Hakusho. That's who I'm Botan, the little thumbnail that I have is Botan. She's the Grim Reaper from that show. It's a really good show. Bleach. There's
I
all kinds
watched a
of
lot of
animes
that.
that I love.
Yeah. Michelle watches that one. So, Kilrkitty, where'd the name come from?
It was my World of Warcraft name. I don't know why I picked '08. I don't know if there was other Killer Kitties or I just picked that number out of random. But
Yeah.
so yeah, it was Tibia. We're going way back. Was MMORPG. So I played that, and I was Kilrkitty there, and then I was World of Warcraft, so I just brought the name over with me. So it's just the name I've always had as an online user, so I just always
Gotcha.
kept it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was a little gnome, pink hair mage, and it just seemed to
Yeah.
fit with that.
That does. That does. Okay. We're actually at the end. I'm just scrolling down. Let's see. Zenny just says, wait, didn't Rico say he probably wasn't going to make the Clash next year because it was Michelle's turn to pick, or did I mishear that? Well, it is her turn to pick, but yeah, I don't know. We've talked about it, and she knows how important it is to me, so we might just try and work out another trip, or we might do a lesser trip to the Clash this year and just go maybe for like an overnight or a 2-day instead of spending 4 or 5 days, which sort of sucks. But then that way, if we do a lesser trip, then we can do her trip too. It's fair for her, right? It is. But she just she wants me to. She sees how important it is to me, So she yeah. Paul McCarthy, hello, vibes. Hey, everybody. Thank you, guys. There's still 46 people. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a blast, but we got to let Holly go because she's got D&D coming up very soon. Real quick before we go, anything else you want to say or anything before we cut it off?
No, just thank you all again. Could not imagine not having you all behind me. The community, the knowledge, it's just so amazing. And, I just thank you to you, Rico. You're one of my favorites because you brighten my day. You really do. And
Well, thank you.
joy has always been a big thing for me. I try to be that person at work that always try to give energy and, make people smile, and it's taxing. It is, but I love making people happy. I love seeing that smile on their face, and I get that from you, and that means a lot to me. So I feed on other people's energy, and your energy is amazing.
Well, thank you. Making people laugh is one of my favorite things to do. That in any aspect. A lot of times I focus too much on it, and and I don't do some of the other more important things. But anyways, we got to let you go. So this Saturday there is no focus on. Again, we're switching things up a little bit. Skipper or Ed, I'm not sure yet. We haven't talked about it. We'll be doing a stream instead on their channel. Next Tuesday will be next Tuesday won't be a stream either because that's the last week of the month, and Foxanne and Poopland do their members only stream on that Tuesday. So the next time will be that first Tuesday in December, which will be Aquafunk, and then Chris Aquazone after him, and then Laura LJ Shrimp. So we got some good ones coming up too. And thank you so much. I knew this was going to be a blast. And again, thank you for all the support over the last couple of years. Every time I see you come in, I know it's going to be a good stream, and I see you in so many streams doing the same thing for those people that are streaming too. So, keep that up. And thanks everybody for hanging out. And I'm clicking buttons. Oh wait, let's do this real quick. Let's do this. Encore, encore.